marinus was first introduced in Australia in 1935 by an entomologist named Cyril Pemberton. The primary reason for their introduction was in an attempt to control the small but very damaging sugarcane beetle that was decimating sugarcane crops across northern Australia. Unfortunately, however, some would say due to a lack of thorough research, the cane toad quickly became a menace. A lack of natural limits to distribution in Australia, such as predators or disease, meant the cane toads reproduced in huge numbers. Today in Australia, they currently occupy over 1 million square kilometres of land. And as an extra kick in the teeth, the original intended victims of the toads, the cane toad beetles, were largely unaffected, and their populations did not decline by any significant levels. One of the most damaging aspects from this invasion is towards Australian native wildlife. The cane toads possess an extremely toxic cardiotoxin in their skin. This extreme toxicity is thought to be the main reason for the lack of natural predators within Australia, as it is completely evolutionary unknown to Australian reptiles and predators. Therefore, the cane toads constitute a very toxic meal to any Australian predator unlucky enough to consume one. In fact, studies have identified 49 separate Australian snake taxa as potentially at risk of death from ingestion of cane toad venom. Since their first introduction into Australia, scientific researchers and agricultural workers alike have searched out ways of destroying and eradicating these invaders. To date, all methods to completely eradicate bufo marinus from Australia have failed, but some methods of controlling cane toad populations are definitely having an impact. Attempts at reducing cane toad populations have incorporated simple local methods such as the erecting of physical barriers like toad fences, or simply catching and disposing of the toads with carbon monoxide and plastic garbage bags. However, in 2014, the Department of Environment said that these methods, while initially successful at reducing the number of cane toads within a particular area, invariably result in cane toad population rebound within weeks. Two methods of biological control that are having an impact are the release of daughterless males into areas with high cane toad population, and the release of sterile males into areas of high cane toad population. Daughterless male release is a way of throwing out the male to female ratio within the wild population. It is done by releasing genetically modified cane toads that can only produce male offspring. If the daughterless males are successfully introduced, they make the females grow rarer over time and therefore reduce the opportunities for reproduction. This is a very enticing avenue because, unlike other methods, this strategy persists beyond the lifetime of the originally introduced genetically modified cane toads. Sterile male release has shown some of the best success rates, however, with the total eradication of cane toads from entire areas in some cases. Introduced sterile males compete with wild males for wild females, and eventually, as long as enough sterile males are released for a long enough period of time, the total eradication of that cane toad population can be achieved. Unfortunately, to date, all methods to completely eradicate bufo marinus in Australia have still failed. However, the methods discussed thus far represent the pioneering cutting-edge work in the field of biocontrol research, and they represent the huge potential yet to be discovered in the field of invasive species biocontrol. Thank you very much. I've been Scott Mckeown.